That ain't going nowhere. Ugh, very helpful.
See there.
Bye. Have a
Here
good
we go.
Today we're floating down the Manitowish River, otherwise known as the Wish. This is one that we've done pretty much every single year once we get up here at the cabin. It's kind of a tradition at this point. It's a really easy float. There's only just a couple of rapids on the way down. I'm sure nobody will fall over, right? Oh, listen, Bar, don't hit me! Don't hit me! For those of you who don't do a lot of canoeing, it's always kind of a two-vehicle experience, as in you're going to have one vehicle that stops at the end where you actually finish up your float, and then another one that drives all the way to the top with all the stuff so you can throw all your canoes in the water. And then you canoe down, get into the little car, drive the little car back to the big car, bring the big car all the way back down to where all the canoes are and load it back up. It's a little bit of an operation. At some point you end up having everybody in the same car all together, all crammed in. Hey!
Hi. Hey. Hi.
But it's definitely the best way to do it. Come and hang out by me. Yeah, Melissa. Traveling in style. Whoop whoop. Oh God, you guys are coming in hot, huh? Look at the video. You guys can go anywhere. Now I think Zach here is doing it the most right. He's just hanging out, chilling on a tube, floating down the river, getting pulled by somebody else. It's the dream come true. Some people will be their whole lives and never be as relaxed as you are right now, Zach. So in keeping with trying to just squeeze the most out of these last couple of days that we have with our family and friends right before we leave on this trip that we're gonna be gone for the next 1 to 2 years, we got up really early and decided to get out on the Manitowish River, aka the Wish, and go for a nice little canoe float down this beautiful river. This is a really relaxing canoe trip. I'm in a kayak right now. Honestly, right now is a nice little lull, a bit of a quiet moment amongst a pretty crazy week that we've had. We've been doing as much Wisconsin-y, Northwoodsy stuff as we can possibly think of. We've been going fishing, going to lumberjack shows. But you might want to wear a life vest. Yeah, going to brew pubs, lighting off fireworks, getting Friday fish fries, just doing everything that we can possibly think of. And honestly, it's been absolutely amazing, especially the campfires at night. Oh, it's just such a nice way to finish up the day. We've just got a couple of days left before we leave on this trip. So for right now, we're just trying to soak up all these awesome moments of having the family all together and having our friends all together, because it's gonna be a really long time until this happens again. Besides coming back from my little brother's wedding, which probably won't be the most condensed, great time to hang out with family, it's just gonna be busy. This will probably be the last time that everyone's together for maybe another year or two. And that honestly got me pretty sad. So that's what we're up to today. We're on this amazing river canoe trip, just having a great time. It looks like everybody's left me behind, so I gotta catch up. So our normal routine up here at the cabin is just every morning wake up, call American Airlines. We spend a lot of time on hold these days. And double check whether or not we can actually go to Rome. Is it a COVID tested flight? Or what's changed? Do we have to test or not? What documentation do we have to bring? And truthfully, every time that we have a conversation with someone from American Airlines, as in whenever we call them, they give us an entirely different answer. Italy no longer requires that test upon arrival, so I guess, is that old information you're looking at, or is that... That's the old information, yeah, that's the old information. This is how it's been going pretty much every single day. We've been calling American Airlines, receiving entirely different information about what we actually need to do to take this flight to Rome. Sometimes they tell us that we need a test, sometimes they tell us that we don't, sometimes they tell us that we need to bring our vaccination card, sometimes they tell us that we need to use this new Verifly app. It's different every single time we talk to them. And we're not really sure exactly what to do yet, but it seems like right now it's just show your vaccination card and you're good to go quarantine free without having to test before you actually arrive. Again, we're not 100% sure on that. We're gonna release a video when/if we actually make it into Italy, and hopefully everything will go just fine. I feel like usually at this time before a really long trip like I've gone on before, I'm just 11 out of 10 on the excitementometer. I'm just elated. I feel so free. I feel like there's just no weight on my shoulders at all. But this time I'm just not feeling that same way, and I'm not sure why that is. Honestly, it feels like we haven't even shifted to thinking that this trip is a real thing yet. I'm not saying that we're not excited for this trip. I'm just saying it's less than I thought it would be. And it still feels like it's just not quite real yet, and it's hard to feel like it is. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this will change in the next couple days, and maybe it'll just start feeling real once we're actually at the airport, or maybe once we actually land in Rome and get to our hotel, or if we can even do that. Hi, baby dear. See you later. That was amazing. Zach popped his tube. The dream is over. Went over a couple too many rocks. What a perfect way to start a day. I think everyone kind of got up a bit early this morning and was feeling pretty tired before we got started, but everybody perked up once we got on the water and started moving a little bit. So now we're on the way back to the cabin and probably just gonna have a big old lunch, and then I think everyone's gonna crash after that, I predict. We'll see.
What's up?
What a 4th of July. That was perfect. We did everything that we wanted to do. Everything that we got to do every year, all the traditions, all the board games, all the fireworks shows, all the everything. But now comes the worst part. And this is a little extra rough for us this year. That's the part where we got to say goodbye. And it's going to be for extra long this time, and I don't know. Everybody this morning's feeling a bit extra sad. You can just feel it in the room. But we're off on an adventure. And that's exciting. But first we gotta hug and cry a little bit. Saying goodbye sucks. It never gets any easier. This is the 4th time I've gone on a trip like this where I left home for a long period of time and had to say goodbye to people for a year, and every single time it's just as bad as every other time. You never get better at it, it never feels any better. never feels easier. It just is what it is, I guess. But honestly, out of all of this, the worst and hardest thing was saying goodbye to our cat Octavius. My parents are going to be looking after him for the next year or so, but still just like, saying goodbye to a pet. This past week was absolutely incredible. Getting to spend time with our family and some of our best friends up at our favorite place, doing just all sorts of great stuff, and just getting to really spend some really condensed quality time together. After all the saying goodbye and the tears and the hugs and everything, we hopped in the car and drove the 4 hours to Minneapolis, and that's where we're staying tonight, and this is our last night in the United States, probably for a pretty long time. Tomorrow morning we got to get up super early. I have to go to my global entry appointment right before we leave for our trip to Rome. So it's going to be a very, very early morning and a very long travel day. I'm just incredibly glad and thankful that we got to have this time together and got to spend the 4th of July together in the way that I remember it and the way that I think it should be. So that's it for this one. Tomorrow morning we get up super early, we hop on a plane, and we start our trip. Finally. We're still reeling a little bit from saying goodbye to everyone and all these feelings that we've had today, but it's starting to feel real, and it's starting to feel really exciting. See you tomorrow. For those of you that don't do a lot of, oh god, first take of the day. For those of you that don't do a lot of canoeing, it's always kind of a 2-car. Wow. This is not so good going on there. Thank you, very helpful. How'd you guys feel about disc golfing? How'd you feel like you did?
Hi, kitty. What do you got to tell us? So many things to say.